Fun Facts presents the 1955 Ford Thunderbird. It is a 50s classic car, and it was the first generation from 1955 through production run of 1957. I am excited, I hope you're excited, and let's get started now. The Ford Thunderbird is a personal luxury car produced by Ford from model years 1955 until 1997 and then 2002 until 2005 across 11 distinct generations. Introduced as a two-seat convertible, the Thunderbird was produced in a variety of body configurations. These include a 4-seat hardtop coupe, a 4-seat convertible, a 5-seat convertible and hardtop, a 4-door pillared hardtop sedan, a 6-passenger hardtop coupe, a 5-passenger pillared coupe, with the final generation designed again as a 2-seat convertible. Ford targeted the 2-seat Thunderbird as an upscale model, but the 1958 model year design introduced a rear seat and arguably marked the expansion of a market segment eventually known as personal luxury cars. This class of cars was positioned to emphasize driving comfort and convenience features over handling and high performance. From 1968 through 1998, Lincoln Mercury marketed, rebadged variants of the Thunderbird as the Continental Mark III, Mark IV, Mark V, Mercury Cougar, Lincoln Mark VII, and Lincoln Mark VIII. The Thunderbird entered production for the 1955 model year as a sporty 2-seat convertible, unlike the Chevrolet Corvette. It was not marketed as a sports car. Ford positioned the Thunderbird as an upscale model, and it is credited in developing a new market segment, the personal luxury car. For 1958, the Thunderbird was redesigned with a second row of seats. Succeeding generations became larger until the line was downsized in 1977, again in 1980, and again in 1983. Sales were good until the 1990s when the two large door coupes became unpopular. Thunderbird production ceased at the end of 1997. The production of a revived 2-seat Thunderbird was launched for the 2002 model year and continued for 3 years through 2005 model year. From its introduction in 1955 to its final phase out in 2005, Ford produced over 4.4 million Thunderbirds. The second and fourth generation development Thunderbird convertibles were similar in design to the Lincoln convertible of the time and used the design from earlier Ford Skyliner hardtop and convertible models. While these Thunderbird models had a true convertible soft top, the top was lowered to stow in the trunk area, and this design reduced available trunk space when the top was down. The trunk lid was rear hinged that raised and lowered by hydraulic cylinders during the convertible top's up and down cycle. The forward end of the trunk lid contained a metal panel that extended upward to cover the area in which the top was stowed. No separate boot cover was needed between the back of the rear seat and the trunk lid when the soft top was retracted. The Ford Thunderbird was introduced in February 1953 as a response to Chevrolet's new sports car, the Corvette, which was publicly unveiled in a prototype from just a month before. Under rapid development, the Thunderbird went from idea to prototype in about a year, being unveiled to the public at the Detroit Auto Show on February 20th, 1954. It was a two-seat design, available with a detachable fiberglass hardtop and a folding fabric top. Production of the Thunderbird began on September 9th of that year, with the new car beginning sales as a 1955 model on October 22, 1954, though some sharing some of the design characteristics with Fords of the time, such as a single circular headlamps and tail lamps and modest fins. The Thunderbird was sleeker in shape and featured a hood scoop and 150 mph speedometer not available on other Fords. It used mechanical components from mass-market Ford models. The Thunderbird's 102 inches wheelbase frame was a shortened version used in other Fords, and standard 292 cubic inch 4.8 liter wide block V8 came from the Ford's Mercury division. A smaller two-seater sports roadster was developed at the behest of Henry Ford II in 1953 called the Vega. The completed one-off generated interest at the time had a meager power, European looks, and a correspondingly high cost, so it never proceeded to production. The Thunderbird was similar in concept, but was more American in style, more luxurious, and less sport-oriented. Credit for the development of the original Thunderbird is given to Louis Crusoe, a former GM executive lured out of retirement by Henry Ford. George Walker, chief stylist, and Ford Vice President Frank Hershey, chief stylist for the Ford division. Bill Boyer, designer for the body development studio, who became the manager of the Thunderbird studio in the spring of 1955. And Bill Burnett, chief engineer. Ford designer William Boyer was the lead stylist on the original 1955 two-seater Thunderbird, and also had input in the following series of Thunderbirds that included the 30th anniversary edition. Hershey's participation in the creation of the Thunderbird was more administrative than artistic. Crusoe and Walker met in France in October 1951. Walking in the Grand Palace in Paris, Crusoe pointed at the sports car and asked Walker, "Why can't we have something like that?" Some versions of the story claim that Walker replied by telling Crusoe, "Oh, we're working on it." Although, if anything existed at the time beyond casual dream car sketches, my members of the design staff records have never come to life. Records have never come to life. Walker promptly telephoned Ford's HQ in Dearborn and told designer Frank Hershey about the conversation with Crusoe. Hershey took the idea and began working on the vehicle. The concept was a two-passenger open car with a target weight of 2,525 pounds, an Interceptor V8 engine based on the forthcoming overhead valve Ford V8 slated for the 54 model year introduction, and a top speed of over 100 miles per hour. What I find hard to believe right here is get told Frank Hershey, the designer, how do you start designing a car that's going to weigh 2,500 pounds to begin with on paper? I don't get that part. Crusoe saw a painted clay model on May 18, 1953, which corresponded closely to the final car. He gave the car the go-ahead in September after comparing it with current European trends. After Henry Ford II returned from the Los Angeles Auto Show in 1953, he approved the final design concept to compete with the new Corvette. The name was not among the thousands proposed, including rejected options such as Apache, the original name of the P-51 Mustang, Falcon, owned by Chrysler at the time, Eagle, Tropical, Hawaiian, Thunderbolt. A Ford stylist who had lived in the Southwest submitted the Thunderbird name. The word Thunderbird is a reference to a legendary creature of North American indigenous people. It is considered a supernatural bird of power and strength. Okay, well, if you found yourself this far into the video, we'd certainly like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. And if you like our video, please give us a thumbs up, because it really does help our channel. And if you like our channel, please subscribe, because we'll be doing all the cars that were born in the 50s and 60s, the muscle cars. We'll be doing later the hybrid cars, the supercars, all the sports cars. We'll be doing auto shows, autoramas. We'll be doing hot rods, so a little bit of everything for everybody. And we'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day. We hope to see you when we upload our next video. And always, always, always take good care. Thank you.